The dust came first, swallowing the sky in angry red clouds. Then the wind, howling like 1,000 wounded spirits, tearing through the village square where Amara stood frozen in her wedding attire. The ceremonial beads around her neck clicked violently as the storm circled her, only her ignoring everyone else. "Amara, run!" Kwame screamed, lunging toward his bride. But the wind pushed him back like a child's toy. The white clay on Amara's face began to glow with an otherworldly light. The eldest woman in the village, Mama Oludare, clutched her walking stick and whispered the words everyone feared. "Afefe has come. The wind spirit has come for his bride." "No!" Amara's mother collapsed to her knees. "Not my daughter. Take me instead." But the wind cared nothing for a mother's pleas. In one violent gust, Amara felt her feet leave the earth. The last thing she heard was Kwame's anguished cry before the world dissolved into swirling chaos. When the dust settled, Amara found herself standing in a compound unlike any she had ever seen. The walls shimmered like heat waves, sometimes solid, sometimes translucent. Through them, she could see her village, her people moving like shadows in another world. She watched Kwame fall to his knees, where she had stood moments before. "They cannot hear you, even if you scream." The voice came from everywhere and nowhere. Then he appeared, a tall figure with eyes like storm clouds and skin that seemed to ripple with invisible currents. Afefe, the wind spirit, stood before her with an expression caught between triumph and sorrow. "Why?" Amara demanded, her voice shaking but defiant. "Why me? I have done nothing to you." "You wore the white clay on your wedding day," Afefe said quietly. "Long ago I loved a mortal woman. She wore the same clay, promised herself to me, then laughed in my face and married another. In my rage, I swore an oath to the ancestors that the next bride who wore white clay would be mine. Ancient laws cannot be broken, Amara. You are bound to me now." "I don't accept this." Amara moved toward the shimmering walls, pressing her hands against them. They felt like water and stone at once. On the other side, she saw her mother weeping at a hastily built shrine. "Let me go, please." "I cannot." Afefe's voice carried genuine pain. "Don't you think I've tried? This curse binds us both. You cannot leave, and I cannot move on to the ancestral realm. We are trapped together until what?" Amara spun to face him. "Until someone willingly chooses to marry me, not through trickery or ancient oaths, but through true choice. Only then will the curse break." He looked away. "In 200 years, no one has chosen." Days blended into weeks in the spirit realm. Afefe kept his distance, treating Amara with careful respect that somehow made everything worse. He brought her food that tasted like memory, showed her wonders of the spirit world, but never touched her, never demanded anything. His loneliness was a palpable thing, filling every corner of their prison. Meanwhile, in the village, Amara's younger sister Zara refused to mourn. While others performed funeral rites, she spent her nights studying their grandmother's old scrolls, learning forbidden rituals, questioning every elder who would speak to her. "There must be a way," Zara insisted to Mama Oludare one moonless night. "The ancestors are not cruel. They would not design a curse without a key." The old oracle studied the fierce young woman before her. "You would risk yourself for a sister who may already be lost." "She is not lost until I stop looking." Zara's eyes blazed with determination. "Tell me what I need to know." Mama Oludare was silent for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "There is a ritual, dangerous. At the crossroads during the new moon, you can call the wind spirit forth. But child, spirits do not negotiate with mortals easily." "Then I won't negotiate," Zara said. "I'll offer him what he truly wants." The night of the new moon, Zara stood at the crossroads with her grandmother's ritual items. Her heart hammering, but her voice steady. She spoke the ancient words, felt the air around her begin to move, slowly at first, then faster, faster, until Afefe stood before her, confusion and hope warring in his storm cloud eyes. "You called me, little sister. Do you wish to beg for Amara's return?" His voice carried centuries of disappointment. "Many have begged. It changes nothing." "I'm not here to beg," Zara said firmly. "I'm here to offer you a choice. Take me instead. Let Amara go free, and I will stay willingly. Not because of ancient laws or curses, but because I choose it." Afefe stared at her, stunned. Behind him, the spirit realm shimmered, and Amara appeared, pressing against the barrier. "Zara, no, don't do this." "Why?" Afefe's voice was barely a whisper. "Why would you trap yourself for a sister who can return to her love, her life? You don't even know me." "I know you've been punished long enough for the crime of loving foolishly," Zara said, and her voice held no pity, only truth. "I know that revenge has poisoned you for 200 years. I know that you're not evil, Afefe. You're just hurt. And I know that my sister's freedom means nothing if it's built on your continued suffering. You think you can heal me with sacrifice?" Afefe's laugh was bitter. "I am beyond healing, child." "No." Zara stepped closer. "You don't need healing. You need to forgive yourself. That woman who rejected you, she made her choice. It wasn't about you being unworthy. People choose for 1,000 reasons, most of them having nothing to do with the ones they leave behind. You've made yourself a prisoner. Afefe, the curse isn't what binds you, your own bitterness is." The wind around them stilled completely. For the first time in 2 centuries, Afefe felt something crack inside his chest, where his heart had once beaten. "You offer yourself freely?" he asked, his voice breaking. "Knowing I could accept, knowing you would lose everything?" "Yes," Zara said simply, "because freedom means nothing if we hoard it while others suffer. Because someone has to break the cycle. Because you deserve a choice too, Afefe, not just to be chosen, but to choose whether to let go." Tears, impossible for a spirit, began to fall from Afefe's eyes, evaporating before they hit the ground. The shimmering walls of the spirit realm started to crack, light pouring through. "I choose," Afefe said, his voice steady for the first time in centuries, "to let go. I choose forgiveness. I choose freedom for all of us." The spirit realm shattered like glass. Amara stumbled forward into her sister's arms as Afefe's form began to dissolve, not into nothingness, but into something lighter, freer. The rage and pain that had defined him for so long lifted away like morning mist. "Thank you," he whispered, and his voice was already becoming the wind itself, gentle now, carrying the warmth of gratitude. "Thank you for showing me that chains are only as strong as we believe them to be." And then he was gone, transformed into a soft breeze that would forever bring good fortune to the village, a spirit finally at peace. Amara's wedding to Kwame took place 3 days later, blessed by every elder and celebrated with twice the joy. Zara stood beside her sister, and when the people asked how she had freed Amara, she simply smiled and said, "I reminded a lonely spirit that he was never truly trapped at all." Mama Oludare, watching the celebration, nodded with satisfaction. That night, she began training Zara as her successor, recognizing wisdom when she saw it. Years later, when Zara became the village oracle, people would come from distant lands to hear her counsel. And she would always tell them the same truth. The strongest chains are the ones we forge in our own hearts, and the greatest power lies not in breaking bonds, but in choosing compassion over bitterness, understanding over revenge. The gentle wind still blows through that village, carrying blessings on its breath. A reminder that even spirits can find peace when someone offers them not just love, but the freedom to choose. If this story moved you, subscribe to hear more tales of wisdom from our ancestors. Share in the comments what choice you would have made, and like this video to help spread these timeless lessons. Until the next story, may you choose freedom over bitterness, always.